In the shadows of ancient battlefields, legends were born, not just from swords or shields, but from a force so fierce, so raw, that even the bravest soldiers trembled before it. This was no ordinary power, it was a strength hack whispered in secret. A forbidden technique so dangerous that commanders warned their warriors never to unleash it. Why? Because true strength, when untamed, can become a weapon that destroys more than just the enemy. It can shatter the very soul of the one who wields it. Today we will uncover this perilous force, the hidden key to power that few dare to master, and discover why the greatest warriors feared it above all else. In every human being there lies a power that few ever truly awaken, a force that is ancient, raw, and waiting to be called forth. This is not the kind of strength measured by the size of muscles or the weight one can lift, but a strength that flows from deep within the spirit. A fire that burns unseen, yet fuels every motion, every breath, every heartbeat. The soldiers of old understood this. They did not fight with brute force alone, but with the untamed force of the storm raging inside them. This strength hack that we speak of is the key to unlocking that primal energy, a power so fierce that it can overwhelm opponents with a single surge. Yet it is a power that demands respect, for it is wild and unpredictable. Like a lightning bolt, it can illuminate the battlefield or reduce everything to ash. It is this very danger that made the commanders warn their soldiers to be cautious, for they knew that such power, when awakened without mastery, could turn against the wielder, transforming them into a force of destruction beyond control. This power within is the essence of all great warriors, past and present. It is the strength that transcends flesh and blood and taps into the deep reservoir of human potential. When the mind aligns with the body, when the soul embraces its true nature, the result is a force unstoppable. It is the difference between a soldier who fights with skill and one who becomes a living tempest, able to change the course of war with sheer presence. This strength hack is not about shortcuts or easy gains. It is about awakening what has always been there, hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and limitation. It calls for courage, not just to wield it, but to face the shadows inside that threaten to consume those who seek it. To awaken this strength, one must first silence the noise of the world and turn inward to the depths, where the untamed force resides. Meditation and discipline become the keys that unlock the gateway to this power. The ancient warriors would spend hours in stillness, mastering control over their breath, over their thoughts, over the surging energy within. This was no mere physical training, but a sacred ritual of self-discovery. The strength hack teaches that true power is born from balance between chaos and order within the self. Without this harmony, the force becomes a wild beast, tearing through everything, including its master. Imagine a river held back by a dam. When released with wisdom, its waters can nourish and bring life. When the dam breaks without control, the flood destroys all in its path. The strength hack is like this river. It requires guardianship of the mind and soul to channel its force constructively. This is why it is so dangerous for the inexperienced, and the reckless soldiers were warned, not because the power was evil, but because it was a force of nature beyond ordinary control. It was a force that could consume the unprepared and leave devastation where once stood hope and strength. Those who have glimpsed this power describe it as both terrifying and beautiful. It is the raw pulse of life, amplified to its highest degree, a force that can move mountains and shatter chains. Yet it is fragile and fleeting. Without the steady hand of wisdom, it slips away or becomes a weapon turned inward, bringing ruin instead of glory. It is said that the strength hack demands a warrior who is not only strong in body, but wise in spirit. One who knows that the true battle is not against enemies outside, but against the chaos within. In this awakening of the untamed force lies the secret to greatness. The strength that shakes the earth and echoes through the ages. But to call forth this power without respect and readiness is to invite destruction. To awaken it with honor is to become the storm that shapes history and legend. The strength within is the fire waiting to be unleashed, and it will answer only to those who are ready to master its fury. Power is a gift and a curse, entwined in the same breath. Soldiers were warned again and again about the danger hidden beneath the surface of this strength hack. The raw force it unleashed was not simply a tool of victory, but a living tempest that could rage beyond control. The greatest warriors who have walked the path before us understood that might alone does not guarantee triumph. It is the unchecked power, the kind that storms forward blindly, that can bring ruin not only to enemies but to the very soul of the one who wields it. This is the paradox that lies at the heart of this dangerous strength. Hack, the price of unbridled might. When a soldier embraces power without mastery, the consequence is chaos. Chaos not just in the battlefield but within the mind and spirit. The surge of strength becomes a storm tearing through the barriers that hold balance in place. The force meant to protect turns against its master, and in that moment a warrior is lost. To unleash this hack without discipline is to invite a fury that will consume reason and judgment, leaving behind a path of destruction that spares neither friend nor foe. Soldiers were warned because the aftermath of such unleashed power was often more devastating than the enemy's attack. It was a force that blinded the mind, clouded the heart, and severed the connection to what truly matters. History is rich with tales of warriors who fell victim to this curse. They gained immense power through this forbidden technique, only to be swallowed by it. Their bodies were strong, but their spirits fractured. Their enemies were defeated, but their legacies were marked by tragedy. Their downfall was not from lack of strength, but from the inability to wield it with the wisdom required. The warnings given to soldiers were born from witnessing such fates and the desire to prevent the same mistakes. This strength hack was a double-edged sword, offering glory and destruction in equal measure. The danger of unchecked might extends beyond physical harm. It erodes the very foundation of a soldier's being. The overwhelming power clouds perception and breeds arrogance, leading one to believe they are invincible. Yet invincibility is an illusion, for strength without humility is a fragile house built on shifting sands. As the mind grows intoxicated with power, it loses sight of discipline and honor. The warrior becomes a slave to their own force, a prisoner trapped within the rage they unleashed. The strength hack becomes a poison seeping into the core of the self, destroying what makes a soldier truly strong: the ability to remain grounded and aware. In contrast, those who approach this power with respect understand that strength is a responsibility, not a right. They train not just the body but the spirit, cultivating patience and restraint. This balance is the key to preventing the destructive consequences feared by their commanders. Mastery over this hack means mastering oneself first. The soldiers, warned against reckless use, were reminded that to be strong is to be wise. To hold power is to hold a flame that can warm or burn the hand that grasps it too tightly. This lesson is timeless and universal. It echoes in every tale of power sought and lost, in every struggle to control the forces within us. The price of unchecked might is not just measured in battles lost or lives ruined, but in the silence left behind where greatness once stood. It is a warning etched in the blood and sweat of those who came before. A call to temper strength with discipline and courage with wisdom. To harness this power safely demands more than physical prowess. It calls for a deep inner work, A journey into the heart of fear and temptation. It requires the warrior to confront the shadows lurking beneath the desire for strength and emerge stronger in spirit. The danger is real, but so is the reward for those who heed the warning and learn to walk the path of balance. The price of unbridled strength is a toll paid in lost souls and shattered destinies. The ancient teachings remind us that true strength is never found in the body alone, but in the sacred harmony between mind and body. The strength hack, so feared and warned against by soldiers, depends entirely on this unity, for without the convergence of mental clarity and physical power, the force becomes unstable, uncontrollable, like a raging fire that burns not with purpose, but with chaos. When warriors failed to grasp this truth, they unleashed a power that consumed them, rather than empowering them. To understand this sacred harmony, one must first look inward, beyond the surface of flesh and bone, to the realm of thought and spirit. Strength is a living river flowing only when the channel is clear. When the mind is cluttered with doubt, fear, or distraction, the body's power is fragmented, scattered in bursts that exhaust rather than empower. It is the alignment of mind-body that forms the bridge where this forbidden strength hack can cross from potential into devastating reality. The soldiers warned against this power were cautioned not just because of the physical danger, but because without mental mastery, it becomes a curse. This harmony is cultivated through disciplined meditation and unwavering focus. Ancient warriors spent countless hours in stillness, seeking to master their breath control, their thoughts, and their emotions. This was not weakness, but a training ground for the soul. The mind had to become a calm lake reflecting the sky, rather than a turbulent sea battering the shores of reason. When this peace was achieved, the body could channel strength with precision and power, each movement deliberate, each strike a force of nature. The strength hack draws upon this sacred balance to amplify power beyond ordinary limits. It is not simply raw energy unleashed recklessly, but a force guided by clear intention and unwavering control. When mind and body are united, the warrior becomes more than muscle. They become a vessel for a power that moves with grace, speed, and devastating effectiveness. This is why the hack was so dangerous. Without this balance, it was a wild tempest that could destroy everything, including the user. Many have sought shortcuts to strength, hoping to bypass this inner work. But strength gained without the harmony of mind and body is fragile, brittle, and doomed to fail. It is like a tree that grows tall but has shallow roots, destined to topple in the first storm. The strength hack demands the roots be deep and strong, requiring patience and humility from those who dare to wield it. It teaches that strength is a lifelong journey, not a destination reached by brute force alone. The mind's role in this balance cannot be overstated. For mental clarity is the compass guiding the strength within. Without it, power is directionless and dangerous. Soldiers warned against using this hack recklessly, understood that the mind must always be the master, not the servant. When the mind falters, the body follows into chaos and destruction. The sacred harmony becomes shattered, and the power becomes a weapon turned inward, wounding the very soul it was meant to protect. Through training, the warrior learns to cultivate this clarity, transforming distractions into focus, doubts into confidence, and fear into calm resolve. The mind becomes a sharp blade cutting through illusions and distractions, allowing the body to move with purpose and precision. The strength hack then becomes a dance between mind and muscle, a symphony of power and control that can turn the tide of battle in an instant. In essence, the sacred harmony is the foundation upon which the dangerous strength hack can be safely wielded. It is the invisible thread that holds the tempest in check and channels the storm into a weapon of unparalleled force. Without this balance, the hack is a curse that consumes rather than a power that liberates. The warnings to soldiers were not just about physical danger, but about the spiritual cost of ignoring this vital truth. When the harmony is achieved, the warrior transcends ordinary limits, becoming a force of nature, embodying grace, power, and control. It is a state where the mind and body are not separate entities, but a unified whole, working seamlessly to unleash the hidden strength within. This is the secret to mastering the strength hack, and why it remains a power feared by many but truly wielded by few. To walk this path demands devotion to inner work, a commitment to balance, and the courage to face oneself fully. Only then can the dangerous strength hack become a source of true power, a force that protects, uplifts, and transforms, not a curse that destroys and consumes. The mind and body united create a strength that no enemy can break and no danger can overcome. To harness the dangerous strength hack is to embrace a path lined with peril and power. Those who dare to walk this road must understand that the force they seek is not merely physical, but something far deeper, far more profound. It is a power that demands sacrifice and courage greater than any ordinary trial. The soldiers warned not to use this hack understood that it was a weapon of nature, unpredictable and unforgiving. A force that could raise a man to legend or reduce him to ruin. The choice lies not in the strength itself, but in the will and wisdom to command it. This strength is not given freely, nor is it earned easily. It calls for a warrior who is willing to face the darkest parts of himself, to confront fears that lurk in shadow, and to challenge every limitation imposed by the body and mind. Those who harness this power become alchemists, transforming the raw energy within into a force of creation and destruction held in perfect balance. They learn that the strength hack is not a tool to be wielded recklessly, but a sacred gift to be honored and mastered. To become the legend who commands this power, one must embrace discipline as a lifelong companion. It is through relentless training and unwavering resolve that the warrior forges the spirit capable of controlling such a tempest. Without discipline, the power is like a wildfire that consumes everything in its path without mercy, purpose. The soldiers who ignored this warning were lost, not because the power was beyond their reach, but because they lacked the inner strength to hold it. The path of mastering this strength hack is one of constant struggle and growth. Each challenge met and overcome sharpens the warrior, refining the raw force into a weapon of legend. This journey is not for the faint of heart, for it demands sacrifice beyond the physical pain of training. It requires surrendering pride and ego to the greater purpose of harmony and control. The warrior becomes a vessel for something greater than self, something eternal and unstoppable. Legends tell of those who have walked this path becoming living storms, whose presence alone changed the fate of battles and shaped the course of history. Their strength was a beacon of hope and terror, a force that inspired allies and struck fear into enemies. Yet behind the myth lies the truth of relentless toil, humility and respect for the power that courses through them. They are not born invincible, but made so. The strength hack carries within it the seed of legend and the shadow of destruction. Its danger lies in the ease with which it can consume the unprepared and elevate the arrogant. It is a force that demands reverence, not arrogance. A force that chooses its master carefully, rewarding those who are worthy and casting aside those who are not. The soldiers who were warned understood that the greatest battle is not against enemies, but against the temptation to misuse the power within. To harness this power fully is to become the storm that no enemy can weather, but also the calm eye within that storm. The warrior learns to walk the razor's edge, balancing fury with patience, strength with wisdom. The dangerous strength hack becomes not a curse, but a source of transformation, a tool that forges the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is the ultimate test of character and courage, the final frontier for those who seek true power. Those who succeed become legends, not because they sought glory, but because they respected the power and bore its burden with honor. They carry the weight of their strength with humility and use it to protect, uplift, and inspire. Their story is one of balance, mastery, and transcendence, a testament to the human spirit's capacity to rise above danger and forge greatness. To walk the path of this strength hack is to accept both the danger and the reward, to become more than a soldier but a force of nature, shaping the world with every step. The strength that was once feared becomes the power that defines the legend.